Yes, we continue with conclusions that in your conclusion, a learner must state whether their hypothesis has been proven to be wrong or correct. So your finding or your conclusion need to be supported with evidence. You cannot just say that my conclusion has been proven to be wrong without you giving evidence. There must be evidence which shows that no, what you predicted earlier in your research has been proven to be wrong or correct. So you can summarize your findings. Evaluation of your inquiry. This is very much important. Evaluate the inquiry means you have to look at the weaknesses and the strength of your research. Is there a possibility for you to do your research in a different manner that will bring about better results? For example, if you only did your research on teenage pregnancy based on 50 people as your sample, do you think it will be better for you next time to increase your sample maybe to 100 or 500 teenagers? So this is what we call evaluation. If you used interviews, for example, in your research, do you think it's effective enough for you to give you the best results? So as a researcher, you need to think that this time around, maybe I'll have to combine different methods of collecting data. Instead of you using interviews only, this time around, you can blend it. You can mix in the use of questionnaires so that it will bring you better results. Evaluation means you just have to look at the weaknesses of your research and suggest improvements when you're going to do the next research. That's what we meant by evaluation. Do you think using English or vernacular language is the best way to collect data? So these are some of the things that the researcher need to look at. If you conducted your research in 2 days only, do you think that is enough for you to give you enough information? So if you suggest for improvement, you can say maybe next time the research must be carried out in 1 week or 2 weeks. That's what we meant by evaluation of your inquiry. Inquiry is just the same as research. Don't confuse the word inquiry. Here, inquiry means your research. The last point is possible solutions or recommendations. This one, evaluation, the first evaluation we talked about is evaluate, evaluate the weaknesses and the strengths of your research. Now, possible solutions now. Here we must be careful. They are asking you now to suggest solutions to the problems that you studied out. If you studied about teenage pregnancy, according to you, what are the solutions? What are your recommendations? What do you think must be done for us to improve, to solve the problem that you researched on? Teenage pregnancy, what must be done for us to reduce teenage pregnancy in our town? This is where the learners need to come up now with solutions, suggest to the government recommendations as what must be done for them to improve the problems on the topic that you did the research on. They are not asking you to give solutions to the problems that you experienced as a researcher, no, but to the problems, solutions to the problems that were faced by people where you did your research on. If you did about poverty, a research on poverty, what do you think is the solution to poverty? If you did the research on unemployment, according to you, what are the recommendations that you are making in order for unemployment to be reduced? These are some of the things that we need to look at. As I said, there are two ways in which section B is asked. One way is this one, whereby they put a flow chart, whereby you have to answer questions based on the steps that has been indicated. The problem with this question is that they don't specifically state how many marks you are going to get for hypothesis or whatever. But as a learner, you have to make sure that you answer your questions to the maximum so that you ensure that you get all the marks. So this is one way in which section B is asked. So the second one is the first one which I told you, like this one now. This one seems to be easy because the questions are separated. Each question has its own mark. For example, write your research question or hypothesis. 2, state your aims. How did you test your methodology? It's very clear. It goes until this one. Suggest 3 solutions. So the other method is this one. So otherwise, if you have these understandings, our learners will not have a problem. You will not have a problem answering section B because it's very easy. But you can only answer these questions if you did your research, if you carried out a research when you were at school. If you don't do a research, you will have a big problem understanding what is expected from you when answering section B.